name is Joyce Turner, and I have two children, a girl and a boy. My son is in high school, and I'm very concerned about sending him back to brick and mortar. My plans are for him to go to a virtual environment in a school that's already a virtual school. And my rationale is that the hospitalizations have increased and deaths have increased. And I think that the brick and mortar school is an opportunity for the spread of the condition. I am not considering input from my children because schools are underfunded originally. And the population of the school makes it virtually impossible to social distance correctly. So one desk apart is not 6 feet. It's also not practical to me for all students to consistently wear a mask. You have teachers that are older, and that puts them at risk, and then people go home, and that puts everyone at risk. So no, I don't feel that it's a child's decision. I think some schools did better than others. I do not think some schools were prepared for the virtual environment. And I don't feel like they necessarily used all of their resources. And I believe that the schools should lean on each other for resources to make sure that our kids get what they need. Another thing, I believe that the schools need to consider that some parents work. And for example, if a child was in elementary school, they may not have been able to meet the requirements of logging on as often as possible. But if they relied on their resources, the virtual schools are based on task completion and not so much if you're logged in at a certain time for a certain number of hours. Each parent will have to make a decision based on their comfort level. There's no right answer. Some parents have to work and they don't have any other resources except to send their children to school, especially with the younger children. However, I do think that you need to consider if it's practical to send your child to school. If you have people that have illnesses, are you okay with taking the risk of getting the virus? So I think that that's very important, but do not let others judge you. But it's a scary situation. So that would be my advice. Another thing that I would tell parents is if you decide to homeschool, remember there are two options. There's homeschooling where you make up the curriculum, or in other words, you're not enrolled in the public school system. The other option is school at home, which would be the virtual charter schools. I feel that teachers have a lot already on their plate. The medical professionals don't have a good handle on the virus. I believe it's unfair to add another responsibility to the teacher's plate. I believe that the teachers or our educators are just as important as our medical personnel. We all serve people, but we serve people in a different lane. And I think that we should stay in our respective lanes. Teachers are not medical professionals, and medical professionals are not teachers. So we really need to consider that and not put undue pressure on our teachers. And I also think that our government needs to consider if a child dies as a result of going to school, or if a teacher dies as a result of going to school, how traumatic would that be to the students? And will the students recover? So we have a lot to think about, but I think that our children's mental health, the mental health of the teachers, and the mental health of our communities should be a priority.